Going on here, there's cupcakes and cake over here. We're going to start serving that here shortly. You may want to take your glasses off when you go there next time.
Why, I got cake on them?
You will have, the last day, so. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming and sharing your love for Pam and her retirement. She's going to be truly missed. Years of service she did here, the knowledge that she has, and try to share that knowledge. It's kind of hard to do it within 30 or 60 days. But, I'm sure Amy Carter's going to do a good job, and she has some big shoes to fill. So, retirement, and we talked about this briefly. Retirement is kind of a scary thing, and you don't know what the future lies for you. And for my personal experience, and I know Carl probably does too. I mean, it's been a great thing. You just have to look at the future and make the best of it. You got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, it's kind of miserable. But I think you have a plan. I know you guys went and did a few things. You got a camper. This is just part of your life. This is one chapter of your life. Retirement is not the end, the last chapter of your life. This is probably the middle of the book. And you have grandkids, your daughter, and family. You bought a new camper. Create more chapters in your life. Don't keep your book, your novel as a short book. Create many chapters. And at the end, there's somebody will write the last chapter for you. But create it. Enjoy life. I mean, it's been great. One of these days I'll be right there behind you. I was going to have a few jokes, but I don't want to make my day here today my last day of work. So I would be polite and not do that. I was going to laugh, add a few jokes about her being the second sheriff here, so you always knew the chain of command. And, I'll leave that alone because I do enjoy my employment here, hopefully for a couple more years. So. All right, Sheriff, you want to say a couple things?
I was retreating, man.
I know you were. Well, good afternoon.
Can you hear this one? Well, first thing I want to thank everybody for coming here today and to spend a little time with Pam and kind of socialize with her and have a nice lunch and talk about her retirement and what she's going to do down the road. She's been around for 26 years, and her journey started back in '97 at the old sheriff's office downtown at the jail. And when the commissioners decided that we were going to have a 911 system, an enhanced system in the county, that there was an opportunity for Pam to get a job with the county from the commissioners, and started out with Barb Dalton. Where's Barb? She's here someplace, I think she was. And they together started out doing the pink slips to gather information and data on everybody out in the county so they could enter that into the 911 system, so to get it ready for once the day it started. Everybody that we possibly could get entered in the system would be in it, and it would work, and they did a phenomenal job. And that job continues today. I mean, it's a never-ending process to do that. So, but her job kind of evolved, and she's going to say a few things when she comes up here, but her job's kind of evolved over the years from doing the pink slip to other things, and in the wisdom of the commissioners, they got with Sheriff Overholt, and she was transferred into the sheriff's office under the sheriff's office to be an employee down here to continue working and maintaining the MSAG, the database and everything for our 911 system. And through that job, she's also involved into now, as she's leaving, the public record request. She still does the MSAG, she does the mapping, she does the body cams, the video cams from the cars for the guys out on the street and stuff like that. So her job's really involved into a lot, and I think Amy, when she started working with her a month and a half ago, she kind of got an education when she started, and I had no idea what all she did here, so, but she's finding out, and it's really a big job. But what I will say about Pam, and of course I have to say good things about Pam, but what I want to say about her is her commitment to this agency and this county, her commitment to doing the best job that she could. She came to work every day and did the best job that she could do for this county. She took very little time off. She called off sick very few times in her career here. She was always here, she was always available for everyone in this agency to that needed any assistance around in the county. And we really, it's been a benefit to have her here. And it's been a pleasure for me because I'm married to her, but and I pass her office every day. But as far as me and her being here at work, I probably had less to do with her here than most everybody else did because I didn't supervise her. She didn't work for me. You know, she worked under somebody else's supervision here. So we had a good relationship with that. She did just a phenomenal job, and I think everyone here would attest that we're a better agency because she's been here over the years to do what she has contributed for our agency. So, are you ready?
What? You already said it all.
Come on up. She wanted to say a few words, so I didn't want to step on her too much, but she wanted to say a few
Said it all.
words.
Well, thank you everyone for coming, I really appreciate it. 26 years ago, Commissioner Dick Miller made the first 911 call to the Ashland County Combined Dispatch Center. 26 years ago, I was hired by the commissioners, as he said, to handle all of the pre-911 data maintenance going forward. Those early days of 911 are some of my fondest memories. Is Barb still here? Barb Dalton Lee? She was here, she was a part of that too. One of the most, what I considered the most important and grueling parts of the job was implementing the 911 database MSAG. That was a lot of work. Right, Sherri? Unless you lived it, unless you were there, you will never know. We had to change addresses, which was not good most of the time, and maintaining it. We have to maintain it. New streets come up all the time. Ashland City has added a lot of streets in the last few years. Annexations. And that's all part of the MSAG. And ask Amy, where's Amy?
No, I don't.
What'd I say? What'd I say?
Talk about the
Don't mess up my MSAG. There's been many changes also with technology. I can remember back 26 years ago making tapes. It's a breeze now. The technology today, it's a breeze. But 26 years ago, reel to reel. I don't know how we ever made those tapes, but somehow we did. The arrival of enhanced 911 or caller ID 911 was a big deal. Before caller ID, getting the location of a caller was a tremendous challenge sometimes. I remember well the 911 call where a male caller advised he had wrecked his motorcycle and was lying severely hurt in a field. He knew what road he was on, but he could not tell us exactly where he was at. It took a lot of really clever maneuvering by the dispatcher to find him. The officer would ring his siren. They would, do you hear him? Do you hear him? Finally, they did locate him. After Enhanced 911 came about, that same individual went back to that same location, called 911, and was able to pinpoint it right away. Once somebody calls 911, they expect a quick and immediate response, and they deserve that. In my 26 years, I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt that each and every update to our system saves lives. It saves lives. In my 26 years, I've only seen our system get better and better with each step forward, and now with NG, or Next Generation, Text 911, I can only imagine what the future holds. Moving to this location in 2001 was very exciting. We had survived Y2K. Who can forget Y2K? You know, the world was going to end, but it didn't. And I've been in that dispatch room through some very stressful calls. I was in there when the April 7th, 2003 fire call came in that claimed the lives of 11-month-old twins. I was in that room when the call came on County Road 1153 that claimed the life of a 5-year-old boy. And although I wasn't in the room, I remember the 2019 call that claimed the life of 3 children. But the dispatchers do that with professionalism, and they get the job done. But what you don't see is afterwards, when we hug and they cry. I'm extremely proud to have been a part of the 911 family all these years. And have I mentioned they're my heroes? They're my heroes. On the flip side, there have been some pretty hilarious 911 calls that we've received. I will never forget the call that came in from 5-year-old David. Sue Kelly took that call from David, and believe it or not, that call made it to Jay Leno. It was on the Jay Leno show. It was obvious at the beginning of the call there was no immediate emergency, but he was in the bathroom and he would not tell her what was going on. What did he need? Finally, after some coaxing in a tearful voice, he said, "I don't have any toilet paper." She then coaxed him into getting his mom, and in a tearful voice he yelled, "Mom, come here, I did something." That was hilarious. As the sheriff said, my job over the years evolved to include records management, reporting, public records requests, all of which I took seriously. The people own the records, we just manage them, we just hold them for them. So I've always taken that very seriously. Most recently, this has also included body cam and some dash cam. Not all have dash cam, but they will. When the public does request a body cam incident, you have to watch it in its entirety just to ensure that there's nothing that has to be redacted. Some of it might not be able to be released. On more than one occasion, I have held my breath and watched in awe as our officers turn around a potentially dangerous situation. One body cam incident that stands out to me involved Officer Wendrich. Now, it was just a welfare check, just a regular welfare check call. But sometimes those calls turn out to be different, totally different. We watched as Officer Wendrich walked up to the door and then ran for his life. Literally ran for his life to his cruiser. Barely made it into his cruiser before getting attacked by that wild turkey. Somebody needs to send that to Funniest Videos, because he was running through his life. That turkey's like, ah! It was going to get him. That was hilarious. In the last 26 years, people have come and gone, times have changed, and I've been lucky to have been a part of it. There have been some very happy times, some not so happy times, and some extremely sad times. But through it all, we've always had each back, and each and one of you are family to me. I leave you with two incidents besides the turkey call that stand out to me as being the top two contenders for ACSO's funniest moments. In second place, I call the visitor. I was coming out of my office one day to go to dispatch, and down the hallway, I thought, what am I looking at? I don't even know what I'm looking at. You see something, it was an animal, a little furry animal. The only animals you see around here are big canines, and they have the people with it. And I said, well, what is that thing trotting down that hallway? Further review after I went down and investigated it, because I thought it was a dog. Somebody bought a dog let it loose. It was a raccoon. He was just roaming around the halls here, just having a good old time. We ended up getting him with a Twinkie. They love Twinkies. And put back into the wild. Are the troopers still here? In first place is what I will call the hunky highway patrolman. It's not you, Bishop, but I'm sorry. A few years ago, probably about when we first moved here, we had a pursuit on I-71 that ended up in Ashland County. And the driver, the suspect, ended up ditching or crashing his car and fleeing up into the woods. Okay, so it took a while to get him, but they did. And so in our EMA room, all the news stations had set up these things, the microphones with their news thing on it. And I was in there making sure everything was as it should be. And the EMA room is right next to the dispatch center. And there's a window there that blinds can shut, and the blinds were shut that day because of the news conference. Well, the highway patrol PR man from Columbus comes in, and his shirt was messy and sweaty, and he was carrying another shirt. And I asked him, he want me to get coffee, and he told me in no uncertain terms that I don't feed the press. So, so anyway, did I mention he was hunky? But anyway, he goes, do you mind if I change my shirt? I'm like, no. Go right ahead. So, as he was changing his shirt, I looked and just happened to glance over at the window, and there, peering through the blinds, was two sets of eyes. They were watching his every move. It was so funny. I don't know how I kept a straight face. I really don't. It was hilarious. Anyway, thank you all for coming and celebrate my retirement. It means more to me than you'll ever know. Now I get this when you retire. Thank you all for the hard work that went into making this event so special. I know how it happened. I know who made it happen. Thank you. Last 26 years have been a ride, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Thank you.
I like my appointment. On behalf of the sheriff and I and the admin staff, we got a little token of appreciation. It doesn't do enough of what you did for this agency, but it just shows that we did appreciate you and what you accomplished here. We can go on and on and on, just like you were here. I mean, I'm not saying you're going on and on. But no, you did a hell of a job. We just want to show our appreciation. And just something that you could, put somewhere and have thoughts, good thoughts of what occurred down there.
Wow.
That kind of says it all, man.
Wasn't expecting this. Best wishes on your retirement. How the work was done. I love her. Oh, thank you. That's nice.
You usually shake hands while you.
You?
You won't do it.
There's some certificates here that,
Is that my certificate? Oh.
that's one of them. Some you can remember. This is for your 25 years of service. Last year I got my ass chewed. I mean, she was a month shy, so 25 years of service.
And Ellen?
And on the back table there, I see people brought in gifts. There's flowers back here for you. You sure you don't want this chocolate cupcake?
No. Was something in it?
Chocolates from everybody. The sheriff's office for you. Hope that it means something to you, but you know it's something you like. You're welcome. Maybe you want to.
You're welcome.
We're walking partner every morning.
Oh.
Spend that.
Oh, my hairdo.
$300.
Oh, they know, don't they? I don't miss my hairdo. Thank you. Oh.
They knew what was important. All right. While she's up here, does anybody want to make any comments or speak of anything? I got the microphone here. Huh? I know this first table here is just dying wanting to say something.
I'll pass.
You can say on this side. Yep, you're good to sit down, man.
can see how organized we are up here. We do a really good job at this. Hey, a couple of people I do want to acknowledge are here. Sheriff Hutchinson and Carol from Wayne County. Thank you for coming over. Sheriff Smitty, Mary, and his chief deputy, his jail administrator are here. Thank you for being here. And I introduced them because, well, one, they know Pam very well. And secondly, they're very good friends of us and our county here, and I do appreciate you coming over here. And Phil just finished his tour last year as the president of the Sheriff's Association for Ohio, so he's a really good guy, and I appreciate you being here, Phil. Thank you. Prosecutor, thank you for being here. Judge Kellogg, thank you for being here. Thank you. And what's next? What do we do next? Well, we wanted to come up with some reasons for Pam's retirement here. There's number 10. She wants to relax and focus on personal and family products, and I put help in the Lord there. So what number 9? You got that there? 9's enjoy the boating and the camper. So there's her new place.
They just bought a new camper, just brought it home last weekend. I don't know what happened to that thing. But, how many feet was it? 43 foot,
Something like that.
42 foot.
And she wanted to manage and create new projects for the sheriff, me, to work on. She's already kind of started that stuff. I think the 4th trip to the Salvation Army is waiting on me right now. So. Yeah. Number 7, she gets to choose between wearing PJs, blue jeans, flip flops, or house shoes every day. Spend more time with the grandkids, great grandkids, and of course we have to put Libby up there. Everybody knows who Libby is. Frequent travel trips to the home store again. Already got planned. Not having to beg for a level 3 snow emergency. We tried. We did one since I've been sheriff. So. Not having to worry about mother reports, MSAG issues, public records. Amy, good luck. Good luck. You know her phone number. Sleep in.
Yay.
And last but not least.
That's number 2.
Number 1. Still lying fast and hey, I got a quick question. Thought that would be a good one. So there's still food back in the back. Please stay around and visit a little bit. And the cupcakes and cake over here. Stay around and please don't leave until you see Pam and let her talk to you a little bit. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we're going to be here for a while yet, though. Okay, because I know some of you have to leave.